Good evening, and welcome back to the Restoration Lounge. After Hours with Dr. K. We've taken a few weeks off, and tonight we're returning with a conversation that I believe is long overdue. I just want to confirm y'all can hear me. All right, thank you. All right, so June is Men's Mental Health Month. Father's Day is right around the corner, and tonight I want us to talk about our men and our boys. Not the stereotypes, not the assumptions, the actual human beings. So let's slow down tonight and talk about something that sounds simple but isn't. What are the characteristics of men? Not the social media opinions, not what television tells us, not stereotypes, right? But what are the characteristics of men? What are the qualities, the struggles, the strengths, the needs that many men carry throughout life? Many men are often Men are often mission oriented, right? So many men naturally connect identity to purpose, to work, to achievement, to providing, to solving problems. When men lose purpose, depression increases, confidence drops, and isolation grows. Many men don't ask, who am I? They ask, what am I accomplishing? So tonight, I think I have, well, I'm waiting on some men to come in the room, hopefully, where we can have some great conversations and find out what they need from us. But while I have you here, anybody wants to share what they believe the characteristics of men are? Some characteristics of men? Anybody? Yes? Okay. Let's see. Hi, welcome.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me? Let's see.
I can.
Um,
I can.
that is
Go ahead.
a simple question, but it's hard to explain. So, a woman wants her man to be strong physically, however, in tune emotionally.
Hmm. Okay.
And I guess not just physically, but I'm trying not to say this the old-fashioned, but anyhow, no matter. Again, this is just my opinion. No matter how strong women are, I still believe that there may be an inner part of us that if she's the owner of a company, high ranking in the company, a boss at work, when she comes home, she wants to take off that hat and take off the pants, and put on a skirt and know that if something goes wrong in our home, her man can take care of it. She can take care of it on her own also, but it's nice to know if there's some things, something breaks or a strong decision that needs to be made, that he can do that. Of course, he's considerate of how we feel, yet still he's strong enough to make that final decision in a loving and compassionate way.
Hmm. Okay. So I heard strong physically, however, in tune emotionally. So
Yes.
we want them to be strong when it's necessary, but I don't want to say soft, but what's the opposite?
I know, right? That's what I was kind of.
Mm,
That's it. We want security
okay.
and safety from our men
Okay. Security and safety.
because everything else, it, it's not about the money because we can go make money ourselves. It's not about buying a house. We can go do that ourselves. But it's a sense of security and safety and reliability and dependability that we can get from our men. By the same token, they get that from us. But I can't explain it. I'm searching for the words.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. I guess I
Yeah.
want to ask is, are we being unreasonable, or are we thinking from a standpoint of a woman? Um,
Absolutely. I don't think we're being unreasonable because we should be able to give the same things back. We should have their back. We should be supported. Uh, when they have, we should be the person they can come to and talk to
mhm,
without being judged. And that can be a challenge because women can, we wear so many hats
mhm,
that we're used to juggling and handling situations. And sometimes when the male in our life comes to us, he doesn't want us to solve the problem. He just wants us to listen. But being handlers, you know, we just kind of step on over there and baby, I got it for you. You be like, no, no, I got it. I just wanted to share it with you and get your opinion.
but isn't that the same for them? When we tell them something, don't they want to stop? Men want to solve problems, right? If they hear us complaining, or if they hear us fussing and worrying, their first instinct is to try to fix it.
No, I'm not gonna say that because women tend to do things out of emotion. I'm not saying all women, so do not write me letters. No, but that is part of our nurturing. I think sometimes when we go to a man, he may step back. Now, wait a minute. Let me make it. Um, let me clarify something. If we are in harm or if we are in danger, if someone has violated us, of course, they
Mhm.
are not going to think about it. It's instant. But we're talking about when it's something that we may need to be logical about and we are being emotional. Something we may need to sit down and step back and think about what we're saying and how we're looking at it. Then sometimes they have that uh, because both of us do that.
Mhm.
But men don't always fly off the handle.
No, 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 not emotional.
Like
I said
right,
physical, but when they
yeah.
hear
If we're violated, if we're hurt, if we're in danger, oh, absolutely, that's yes. But when it's not anything that's detrimental to our health, they can uh, kind of step back and say, "Nah, baby, I hear you. And you're right. And then they give you that pause, and you have to say, okay, what? Because they know they got to sleep with you that night, so they're not trying to get in the doghouse. So again, just my opinion.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So, do y'all agree in the audience? We're looking for security and safety from our men, and we should be supportive while providing safety as well. That's what I heard you say. Is that about right?
Pretty
Is
much.
that so?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Pretty
Yes.
much.
Yeah.
Okay. So men usually express love differently, right? Men show love through protection, through provision, through fixing problems, loyalty, showing up, financial, right? So sometimes they don't show it through words, right? Which is what a lot of women want. Women won't tell me, talk to me. Where men say, let me show you, right? And so how do we bridge the gap or help uh, kind of start to fix that disconnect that we have as men and women, where women want to talk it out and men just want to do or be. What do you think about that?
Marriage is a give and take. It's not like back in the good old days where you were a child and he was an adult. We're talking
What?
about two, right? Back in the old days in the Western world when women got married at 15 years old to older people and all that, um, prearranged marriages and married off. Nowadays, we're all supposed to be adults, hopefully somewhat mature.
Mm-hmm.
So we should be, I mean, first of all, you got to consider you're talking about two individual people coming together as one.
Okay.
I'm not going to know that it bothers me if you leave the toothpaste top off if I don't let you know. I don't think that when we say our wedding vows, that anywhere in it says anything about being able to read the other person's mind.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we expect the man to read our mind, and then we get mad at him because he doesn't do what we wanted him to do, and he never knew to do
Mm-hmm. So you said the good old days.
it. Yeah,
Is
I'm
this
talking
really
about
the
back in the
good old
Western
days,
days.
Nikki?
Well, you know,
In the
I'm talking
what
about
days?
back in the
In the
West.
what days?
Yeah, Western days, back in them days.
With the horses
Yeah, yeah, them days.
and the buggies. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. When she had good childbearing hips, and yeah, she was sold for. She was given to a man for some property and for some grain and for some land and all them days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, them confused days. Hallelujah. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Interesting. Where women didn't have a voice back then, right? And that in that time period, women didn't really have a voice
Exactly.
to
They did not.
um, verbalize what they needed,
They had
right?
a they had a voice, but they were not allowed to use it.
Well,
They had a place, a role, what you're
they had a
supposed to
role.
do, and
Exactly.
that's.
Yeah. And the man had a role, right? And he did.
Exactly.
And he
That's
stuck to his
he
role.
did. That's
And the
right.
woman stuck to her role. And
She did.
they didn't too much question um, or try to cross the line.
Exactly.
in many cases, right? And
Right.
so
So it sounds like you're saying we kind of got away from our roles and we crossed the line.
I don't think we do
That-
roles anymore much. I don't think that even many
We may
people.
not do them, but that doesn't mean that inwardly we don't still want it.
Oh, that's
But
good.
we think that as women, I can't show weakness. I gotta show him I'm hard. Well, what you really want to do is take off your shoes, take off your pants, and run into his arms and crown his shoulder because your day was horrible. But you're a boss, babe. You can't do that anymore. I'm weak. No, no. Now I don't think there's anything wrong with the man helping me in the kitchen. However, I want him to protect me.
That's good.
Because if that's the case, shoot, I'll just stay by myself.
That's good. Okay, so somebody put in the chat unrealistic expectations. Now, I always talk about this with my couple because I do believe that we go into relationships with unrealistic expectations and we do not voice those things to each other, right? We do not share for whatever reason. For a
And
fear,
we go in unwhole. We go in expecting that people say, when you get married, you're going to be whole. No.
well, I'm already whole.
That person may come, exactly. They may complete you, the
Yeah,
union,
yeah.
because that's what we were made for, the union, yeah. But they're not going to make me whole. If I go in their marriage 2/3, we got a problem. We got to find that 1/3 while I'm married, and that person might get sick
I
while I'm
agree.
trying to find that 1/3.
I agree. That's a lot,
Yeah.
right? Like, I think it's two whole people that coming together. Now they may not be healthy and whole, but they're whole. Um, and I think that's
Exactly.
where the problem come in. But I love what you said. We may not do them, meaning roles, but I think, but it doesn't mean we don't want them. And that's so true because how many people say they want the soft life now, right? Women say they're looking for the soft life, but yet we can't relinquish control enough to move out the way to allow somebody to even be that for us, right? Because we come
Right.
in with trust issues, we come in
Exactly.
with trauma and baggage and all of these things that we bring to it, and not just women,
And
men
please
too.
don't leave out the daddy issue. And that's
Oh,
male and female with the
oh my
daddy.
God, daddy and mama issues, right?
Yes,
And
Lord, yes.
so absolutely. So it's very hard to provide that for someone. It's very hard to provide that for someone when, first of all, they're not even open to receiving it, and two, they don't know how to receive it. They're not even well enough to receive it. Let me say that. And that's a problem.
And
So I go ahead.
what 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 if they don't even know they have these issues? What if everyone around them in their environment is going through the same thing, talking about the same things, complaining about the same issues? So then to them, they're okay. Then they meet someone that's outside of their environment
Mm,
and they have a whole different way of doing things. You have the woman that's used to being independent and paying her own bills and opening the doors and handling her business, and somehow she steps outside of her community, what she knows, and meets someone that opens doors, that believes in keeping a roof over his woman's or his wife's head,
mm-hmm,
providing utilities. Those are the basic things you need: a roof, utilities, and food.
mm-hmm.
Nowadays you need a phone, but a phone used to be a luxury. So those are the things that are required. And then she doesn't know how to handle a man that does that. And then she can't go to her community because all of her sisters in that community going through they don't know anything about that. And then they tell you, your man must be soft. No, he's just a man of a different caliber. Don't shoot him down. You like him, get to know him, and don't let your community mess up a good thing.
Hmm. So I I hear all the time many men say I love you through responsibility, right? And let's not forget sex, intimacy, long before they say it through words. Do you
Yeah,
agree?
because the man will tell you, I'm you be like, why don't you tell me you love me? You be like, I'm here, ain't I?
He'll
If
tell
I
you,
didn't love you,
I
I
didn't-
wouldn't be here.
oh yeah, yeah, they definitely say that.
I pay the bills. I take care of you. What
Mhm.
more do you want?
Right.
And so
And
we have to learn a person's love language too.
hmm that's true. But not only that, I think men. That's I think most men, not all men, but most men, they're taught that or were taught that you take care of your home, you provide, right? And so to them, that's being a man, a provider. And if and when I do that, that means that I'm showing up for you. I'm showing up for the family. Women want so much more than just we want finances. Don't get me wrong, but women usually want so much more than finances. And um, what I try to tell people is men. I believe men tell you up front the truth. I believe it's how we receive it and how we accept it and deal with it is how they choose to deal with you afterwards. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. You can actually mess up a good thing by not opening your mind and
Mm,
seeing things out of stepping back and looking at things from a different angle. When you're so locked in and so tight on a bone that you
mm,
can't open your grip to receive anything else, that's your detriment to yourself.
mm. So are you saying that for men or for women or both?
I have to say, ooh,
Mhm.
Lord, I'm gonna get some nasty emails. Unfortunately, I have to say that's more so for women because we come in with honey, he gonna do this and he gonna do that, and if he don't do this, then mm, he might just be that guy that does not want you to cook. All he wants you to do is take care of the house. He
Mhm.
likes to eat out. He likes to cook.
Right.
You know, I know a gentleman. He's not gonna tell you I love you for all 10 times, but he gonna put a rose on your pillow every day.
Mhm.
He's gonna bring you
Mhm.
cards. He's gonna send you love notes. At work, he gonna text you little funny, but he's not gonna say I love you. You better figure it out, because that's what he's telling you.
I was gonna say that means I love you, does it not? I'm thinking about
It
you.
it does.
You're important to me, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm considering you today,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Exactly.
But I know a lot of people who would say, "Oh, I need to hear the words," right? That can become a habit. Anybody can do that.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this TV evangelist said.
Like
I
who?
can say a TV evangelist. I can say I'm a cop all day long. I can even sit in the garage,
Mm, that's true.
but that doesn't make me a cop.
True. Very true. Okay. And when you say that, you're saying,
I can tell you and cheat on you 24/7.
okay.
I can tell you I love you and don't pay a bill. I can tell you I love you and I'm not responsible. And we talking about male and female. So wait a minute. Do you want me to tell you? Or do you want me to show you? The proof is in the pudding. I know guys growing up, they looked in the mirror every day and practice telling, girl, you know I love you. I love you. I love you. Every day they practiced in the mirror. I'm not telling you what I heard, I'm telling you what I saw. I be looking at them cracking up. But they were serious. They laid it down, they laid it heavy. So, like I said, top is cheap.
Talk is cheap, right? Action. Is that what we always say? We want to see actions. We want to see actions. We want to see,
Hmm.
right? And so, can you have both?
I want both, but if you're not able to say it and you showing it, mama good.
You okay with that? You okay? Okay.
Yeah, please. Yes.
Okay. So men need respect and appreciation. That's a big one, right? Not ego, respect, right? They need to feel valued, feel useful, feel
Yes.
trusted.
Yes.
Um, so many men can survive criticism, but they struggle when they feel invisible. Hmm. What you think about that? They struggle when they feel invisible. I need some men on tonight. I thought I was gonna have some men jump on here. If you talking, we can't hear you. You're on mute. So men struggle too, right? Men struggle with loneliness. They struggle with anxiety, shame. If you're talking, we can't hear you. Okay, I'm not sure what's happening, but um, they also struggle with loneliness, anxiety, shame, pressure, fear, right? So being strong doesn't mean a man isn't hurting, right? It does not mean that he is not uh, in pain also. Just because he doesn't verbalize that to you doesn't mean that he's not hurting. So we should be aware of our partner, right? We should be aware of our son, our brothers, our uncles. We should be able to pick up on cues and see something's just not right, right? They're not themselves or something's changed, right? And so we should be able to pick up on those things when we see our men in our lives, whether that's like I say, your family members, your dad, your brothers, your sons, and you should be able to see that something is not right. Okay, can you hear us now?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know what happened. Hello.
I'm here.
Okay, is it going in and out?
No, that's me.
Okay. All right. So we were talking about men feel lonely too, and they also hurt, right? And so many men struggle when they feel invisible. That's what I was talking about, I think, before.
Absolutely. You got to show respect. The problem is when we lose respect, it's very hard to get it back.
So what made you say respect? What made you put respect in that place there? I'm just curious.
I've always taught young ladies that men have two things.
Mm-hmm.
They have their egos and they have respect. You have to respect their egos and you have to respect them. So
You have to
let's say something.
respect their
Let's
ego
say
and
something,
what else?
and you have to show respect. Let's say something happens in public.
Mm-hmm.
Our mamas tell us, well, my mama said there's a time and place for everything.
Okay.
So if my mother and father were out and my dad did something that my mother didn't necessarily agree with, nobody knew. But now when she got back home and they went in the bedroom, they discussed it. But they
Mm-hmm.
didn't discuss it in front of us and they didn't discuss it in front of whoever it happened in front of. If it was something that needed to be addressed immediately, she would respectfully take them to the side and not loud talking. But that's not just for a man, that's both ways. You don't want your man to blast you out. That's just rude.
Mm-hmm.
And so then you're in a shouting war because then you're embarrassed, your feelings are hurt, and you can't let him get away with that, and he can't let you get away with that. Uh-uh. Just put the emotions in your pocket, chill out for a minute, and you handle it at home or you handle it in the car.
Mm-hmm.
So respect is very important both ways. I just, I mean, even if I disagree completely with the male person in my life, I don't. It doesn't have to be a personal person. I
Mm-hmm.
just wouldn't do it out in public.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I that's
we
just
live in a different world now, right? So everything is public.
yeah, but just
Mhm.
because it is doesn't make it right.
I, no,
We do a
I agree.
lot of things that we need to do behind closed doors because
Mm-hmm.
I ooh, like I said, I don't tell you what I think. I tell you what I know. There was a situation. This guy asked this young lady that was his girlfriend to do some things, and she did them, and he lost all respect. But she only did it because she loved him, and she thought she was proving her love. But he lost respect for her. So stand up for what you believe. That person respects you for what you believe, and if they don't respect you for that, then maybe you don't need to be there.
But do people know the meaning of respect today? That's the question.
It's defined differently now.
Mm-hmm.
It's defined differently because in not just defined differently, it's also defined in different genres of life.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because if if I'm somebody out there on the street that's living that life, I'm gonna need my wife, girlfriend, significant other, man, boyfriend, husband. I'm gonna need them to go toe to toe and ride or die with me, stand beside me, have my back.
Mm-hmm.
But whereas in another genre of life, avenue of life, my husband may feel like if there's something that jumps out physically, he don't need he don't need me throwing punches. You
He'll
know,
need you.
he don't need me throwing punches. I mean, he know I can, but he
Mm-hmm.
like, I got this, boo, I got this. Back up. So you really have to know again, I guess it goes all the way back to knowing who you're with, what their language is, what they need from you, and what they expect from you. And the only way you find that out is through conversation. Because let's say you have somebody that gets into a confrontation. Now you're his lady, and the other girl is his sister. He might expect his sister to throw blows with him, to
Mm-hmm.
jump in that fight and fight with him. But you, as his lady, he may not want you to do that. So again, it goes back to conversation and getting to know people and getting to know each other, spending time, quality time.
And I think I was speaking on that before you got disconnected about knowing your mate, right? Or any person in your life, and that's what I was saying. It doesn't necessarily have to be a partner. In this case, we're talking about the characteristics of men. So that can be your dad, your brothers, your nephews, your son, right? Um,
Co-worker,
co-workers, right? Being able
business
to
partner, yeah,
pick up on those cues when things are not right, or you you see something off with them, being able to uh, pick up on that and address that, right? Because like I was saying, I think you may have missed it, but we were talking about shame and pressure, fears that
right,
they deal with, um,
yes,
anxiety, loneliness,
right.
right? Okay, so being strong doesn't mean a man isn't hurting. Um, it just means that he's strong. He's physically strong. It doesn't mean
He's
that he's
physically strong.
mentally and emotionally strong. And
Correct,
so,
correct.
and so, a lot of times I think
And
we lump them all into one category. But go ahead.
and I feel sorry for men. I'm gonna be honest with you. In the sense that they don't have the opportunity to
Mm-hmm.
show their true feelings.
That's,
They're
that's
not able to show. They're not get. Not they're not able. Let me change it. They're not given the opportunity to show their
mm-hmm.
true feelings. So what they do, unfortunately, so often they lock them in. And
Mm-hmm.
then by the time they get with somebody that's willing to listen, they shut themselves off so hard they no longer know how to talk.
Absolutely,
So
because we teach that from when they're a child, right?
yeah, suck it up.
Suck it
You're a
up, suck
man.
it up,
You
suck it
don't do
up,
that. Oh,
suck
I
it
hate
up.
that.
Boys
Oh,
don't
that bugs
cry.
me.
Boys don't cry.
Mm-mm.
Boys don't do that. You're a big boy, you know. And
Yeah,
so we teach them, you know, men and women teach them, this is not how a man responds. To
right,
them, that's emotional. That's left for a woman to do. And
right.
so,
But the flip side is they need to learn how to listen too now. Hold up. Wait a minute, it ain't all on us. You gotta learn how to listen. They can't be so bullheaded that they can't hear. You got two good ears. If one don't work, turn your head to the other side.
okay. So let's talk about some positive traits, right? Of healthy characteristics, right? Accountability and integrity, emotional awareness. That's what you just spoke about. Leadership, consistency, humility, protectiveness, and reliability, right? And so those are some healthy characteristics of mature men. And I'm honored to say that I've had mature men in my life. I saw that growing up, so I got to experience that. But I know today we have almost done a disservice to our men and not allowing them the space to be emotionally aware. What do you think?
I agree. And I believe what happened is that this wasn't meant or said to our men negatively, not to be cruel, but I think it was because the older gentlemen in their life and even their mothers eh, tell them to suck it up and to be tough because people will take advantage of you. People will misuse you. People will abuse you if
Mm,
they see a weakness. And it's unfair because they're not allowed to be human.
mm. You think
So,
that's still today?
oh my goodness, yes. Oh my goodness. If you look at all these guys that are it's not just guys doing the killing, but if you look at all these guys that are shooting and killing and pulling guns. It's because they can't release.
I
They're
agree.
not able to release. They can't talk. They can't express their feelings. They
Yeah.
can't articulate their pain. They can't share. If he talks to a female and he goes to tell her his concern, first thing out, you weak. You weak. I don't want. Come on, girl. Shut up. Sit down. Hush. You might just have a diamond in the rough, and he
Hmm.
just needs somebody to listen. But all he wants to do is protect you and provide for you and love on you. And just because he expresses his feelings, you say he weak. And then he branded. Because,
Hmm.
we got to go tell our girlfriends, and our girlfriends got to tell our girlfriends. And then he got a reputation of being weak, and,
Hmm.
and, and he's really not in no shape, form, or fashion.
Right.
He just cannot articulate to you how he feels. It's kind of like, oh boy, I'm going to get some hate mail for this one. It's kind of like childbirth. You know, we can't always articulate that pain, but it's a beautiful pain. But it's a pain nonetheless.
Nonetheless, right. Yeah.
Yes, but
Hmm.
when a man is trying to come out of that hard shell that he has been forced into,
Hmm.
it, it can be very painful. And this is my suggestion. If you are so full, and I'm talking to our men, if you're so full and you're so angry and you just don't know what to do and you don't have a safe place to articulate and explain, or maybe your mother was not there long enough for you to have those things, or maybe she's not there anymore for you to talk to, and now you find yourself in a real grown person situation. Write it down. Seriously. Go in
Hmm.
the bathroom, take you some paper, write it down, and when you get through with that paper, either tear it up in small pieces and flush it. Just
Hmm.
because you don't want anybody to feel like to ever read that and then you feel violated.
Right.
So find a way to express yourself. There's nothing wrong with going to get help to talk to someone. There's nothing wrong with that. But in doing that, make sure when you go to seek a therapist, you look for a therapist that you fit with and that fits you. Every therapist is not for everybody, and everybody is not for every therapist.
Absolutely.
You know,
So, I know what you were saying was I hear and I see a lot of frustration from men, anger and confusion, right? And so, like you said, it comes out usually violently, right? That's where we get the violence and things like that from. It's just built up frustration and anger of not being able to voice their opinion or, um,
like a pressure cooker.
yeah,
You remember the pressure cookers that before they blow, you hear that whistle, and it gives this loud whistle, and you need to come and kind of lift that top and get some of that pressure off of it. Okay, I'm dating myself now, but so it's about to blow, and you got to know the symptoms, ladies. We have, again, I feel like we have a responsibility to our men. These are our protectors, our our coverage.
hmm,
So reach your man.
okay. All right. So, a mature man is not perfect. He's willing to regulate, evaluate, and grow. Right. So, what characteristics do you value most in men? Anybody?
And feel free to talk, y'all. I can stop talking anytime.
Anybody want to come up, just please let me know in the chat, and also you can answer in the chat. What characteristics do you value most, and what characteristics are um, do you appreciate most in the men in your life? When you think of a good man, what characteristics come to mind first? I know for me, I think we've talked about it a lot, like security, right, and safety, trust, right. I need to be able to trust you. I need to be able to um, know that your word is bond for the most part. I'm not saying that you're never gonna disappoint me, but at the same time, I need to know that I'm safe with you. Also, okay, I don't know. I can't get my thoughts out. So, I also need to know that I'm good. I'm safe. I can speak my mind. I can vent with you after a hard day, or and it stays there. It's not used against me. It's not weaponized against me later, right? It's not something that uh, I'm gonna have to hear next month. Oh, you cried about this, or um, things like that. So absolutely, protection and security is key for me, as well as just being trusted, knowing that I can depend on you. That's important for me. Anybody else? When you think of a good man, what comes to mind? What is a good man? I will put you back
My
up there.
daddy,
Your daddy. Okay.
my daddy.
What about your daddy saying good man?
The fact that he wasn't perfect and he let it be known.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he stepped up and loved me and protected me unconditionally when he didn't have to because I wasn't his biological child.
Mm-hmm.
But you did hear me say my daddy, right? That's my
Mm-hmm.
daddy. Um, he provided.
Mm-hmm.
He talked to every young man, every young person in the neighborhood. If they wanted his wisdom, he had the time. He
Mm-hmm.
worked, and come holidays, honey, he worked a full time and a part time job because he had that many children. But he
Mm-hmm.
made sure he made sure that we all had. None of us went lacking. We knew that he loved us,
Mm-hmm.
hands down. And the best part of it, he was not perfect in no short shape, form, or fashion. He had his shortcomings. He was not really talkative, and he was not a big emotional expressive person. But I guarantee you, you knew that he loved you, and you knew that when he disciplined you out of love and from a loving place.
Okay. So for you, a good man is showing up, providing, being present. Um, our caller said our caller said a God fearing man,
Yes,
and also a man who knows what God say love is.
yes. And he got to be strong because I'm a mess with myself.
Strong in what way? Strong in what way?
I did say I'm a mess with myself, right?
Strong, strong and well rounded. Because when we think of strong, we usually think
Oh
of physical, right?
no, yeah, no. He got to be strong minded because see, I can lead him down a
Strong
rabbit
minded.
hole.
Okay.
Yeah, he got to be because he got to be able to tell me now, baby. You know we do not need a seven burner stove right now. Let's just get this five burner stove, and we'll
Mm-hmm.
come back and get this seven burner stove. Give me a year or so, okay? So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I got you gotta be able to break me down because I get no, baby, I want that seven burner. Do you know what I could be cooking? I could be cooking all these things for you on these seven eyes,
Mm-hmm.
knowing good and well we really can't afford it. Okay, come on, let's be for real. So I'm gonna need him to lovingly hold my hand and say, no, not right now, girl, not right. So strong in that sense also. Because
Oh,
we can bat our eyes and get what we want, but after we get it, then we realize we should have made a better decision.
true. Hey, did you want to say something? Welcome.
Thank you.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So we're talking about the characteristics of men tonight, right? And
Okay.
so, not just your partner man, but even your father, your brothers, your sons, your
hmm
uncles, and just what is a good characteristic of man for you? Like what comes to mind when you think of characteristics of a man?
I know my father, he was not a good husband
Mm-hmm.
so much. He had a lot of women on my mother, but he did provide financially, but he was such a good father to me. He told me a lot of things about, the big thing that he's deceased now, but the big thing I remember is that he told me to always be prepared to take care of yourself and never really depend on a man because they let you down. And I really appreciate that because I've had to pull those skills out of my toolbox, take care of myself. So he was a
Oh
good man,
wow,
though.
he was a
So
good man, though.
he was a good father.
Mm-hmm.
He just had to have a lot of women. I don't
I'm
understand,
a, I'm a,
but
you know what? I'm gonna do a show on that. Is a good man
right.
is a man? Cause no, because I get this question all the time. What I'm gonna do, but is a man good? It, I don't know how to. I'm
If
gonna
he
figure out
has
how
a
to
lot of
word it
women,
because I get it
yeah.
all the time, right?
You
About
do?
how is
Oh,
he a
okay.
good man and he wasn't a good husband, right?
Yeah,
But we
yeah,
say he's a
I
good
get
father,
that.
but he wasn't a good husband. So is he really a good man,
Right.
or is he just I don't know. So we're gonna talk about that maybe next week because
Okay.
Well, wait a minute.
oh okay.
Remember, there's different angles, different facets to every person. A
Mm-hmm.
woman could be a good woman, but she may not be a good cook. She can be a good mother, but she may not be emotionally there for her husband. So,
Okay.
like
Well
she
then.
said, he was a good father,
Mm.
but do we know why he wasn't a good husband? So, I
We,
understand both
we
sides.
gonna I do too. But I want to talk about it because the reason I say that is because, I got my own experience with that. So I'm saying that and you can't tell me that my dad wasn't a good man to me. He was a superman to me, but he was not a good husband, period. And so as I got older and as I got grown and I was able to look at it from adult eyes, now I can look back and say, was he really a good father? We're gonna talk about that next week because I have a different perception now. I'm not looking at him
Yeah,
from
that's
child eye.
that's a good that is a good point. But my father, he when he left my mother, well, they kind of split ways. But I remember he, wanted to pay my mother all this support, and he wanted to give her, he gave her the house. And when I was at odds with my mother, I called my father. He said, just come on up here. He had moved to California. I was in Colorado. and he, you know, took me in, and you know, but yeah, I get your point. But he was still my daddy. I loved him.
That's right. No, no, no. I don't take nothing away from daddies. I don't. I get it. You know what I'm saying? And two things can be true at the same time. Don't get me
That's
wrong.
right.
It can
And
be a
and
terrible
don't
husband and a good father. But I do want to
and don't get
explore
it
that more.
twisted. It can be that mama too.
Listen, it's a whole lot
Yep.
of things it could be, right?
Yeah, it can be mama. Mama could be great with the children, but baby, when she get behind doors, she could be a terror. Or
Yeah, that's true. True
she,
that.
yeah, or she could be so. I know a lady that cussed her husband out going and coming, and she loved him. She did, but she was so angry from her
Yeah,
childhood
right.
and what he had done. He may have made one mistake, but she couldn't let him
She couldn't
get
let it go.
over it.
Mm.
No, because that had happened to her father and her mother. So
Mm,
then all of a sudden she sees her husband like her daddy.
mm, mm, mm. Well, that sounds like next week's show to me. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you for joining me. I'll put it down. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So the goal tonight wasn't to put men on a pedestal. It wasn't to criticize men either. It was to understand them, right? Because understanding creates connection, and connection creates healing. Men don't need to be idolized. They don't need to be demonized. They need to be understood. So if you are in the Atlanta area, I am having an all male panel next week, next Thursday, June 11th. I will, if you follow me on Facebook, the flyer is there. Let me see if I can pin it here. It might be too much like right. But next week at, let me give it to you. I apologize. I should have had that ready. It's going to be an all male panel Thursday, June 11th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the 21 M Street, 2149 Metropolitan Parkway in Atlanta, Georgia. And if you would come on out, it's going to be great. I hope that you would join us. But if not, I will be back here next Wednesday, same time, 10 p.m. Again, remember it's June. It's Men Mental Health Month. It's also Father's Day. And we're going to celebrate the men this month, okay? All right. Thank you so much for joining me. And you have a good night.